So, you guys ever wanted to see what Groundhog Day on steroids look like? Well, stick around, because in this movie review, I'm about to reveal it all. But first of all, guys, let's roll that awesome intro. Boss-level synopsis. A retired Special Forces officer is trapped in a never-ending time loop on the day of his death. Welcome to my new movie review. Movie Boss Level. Man alive. Far out. Like I said in the intro, guys, Groundhog Day on steroids. You're welcome. Wow. There's a reason why they call this movie Boss Level. Now, I want to start off by saying this. First of all, anyone who has been following my channel for any period of time, I don't do spoilers in my movie reviews at all, guys. Nope, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Eminem. Because in my personal opinion, guys, I don't think that spoilers are fair in a movie review. I just don't. Just my personal opinion, guys. It is what it is. So, Boss Level is rated MA15+. And the duration of Boss Level is... And the genre of Boss Level: action, mystery, sci-fi, thriller. And Boss Level is Joe Cunningham. And the cast of Boss Level is also Grillo as Roy Palver, Annabelle Wallace as Alice, Gibson as Cole Clive Venter, Yo Di Felina Lowe, Granny Yin. I like this movie for several reasons. But this isn't one of those movies, guys, that is an epic masterpiece in film. It's not. It's not. It's what I would like to call popcorn fun. Honestly, that really is what I like to call this movie. Like, genuinely, guys. And not in a bad way to any degree at all. It's just fun. It's just a fun, awesome, energetic, packed movie that you go in and go, yeah, that was awesome. However, this movie has everything sprinkled in it. And I mean really. And when I say sprinkled, I mean sprinkled. Now, when you stick around to the end of this movie review, you'll actually find out a little bit of trivia that's actually really beautiful to do with the main character, Frank Grillo, who plays the character of Roy Palver. Really, guys, it is beautiful to see this movie played out. It really is. And I mean beautiful in a way of, when I get to the trivia, you'll understand why. Seriously. Guys, truly and honestly, the opening sequence of this movie is exactly what you want it to be for a movie called Boss Level. Really. Like, honestly. It grabs our attention as an audience and pulls us in as an audience, and then just holds us there. And then it gets into the storyline and the cast chemistry and everything else that it needs to be for this film. This movie really, really is one of those movies that you're going to watch because you want to. I know that sounds weird, but for example, one of the scenes in this movie, and anyone who has been following my channel for any period of time, you guys know that there's a few things that I like to talk about in my movie reviews. Specifically what I really like to talk about at the beginning of my reviews is actually character chemistry. Because anyone who's been following me, if a movie's storyline is incredible, the cast chemistry, it just has to be awesome. It is what it is. Like, there's no getting around that. You just need an incredible cast character chemistry. And then the rest of it flows, specifically with a storyline very similar to Groundhog Day. It is what it is. But the way that they did this is really, really different. And I mean really well done different. For example, there's a scene in this movie where Clive, played by Mel Gibson, and Gemma, played by Naomi Watts, their characters are sitting on the couch. And you know, without even knowing, like, you know, obviously because of the scenes prior to it, but them sitting on the couch and just the way they interact with each other, you know, as an audience member, that he's her boss and she's the scientist. Like, and the way they interact with each other is just so well done. Like, it really, really is well done. This movie, honestly, guys, is one of those movies that just has it in the bag. It is what you want it to be, specifically coming from the trailer. The trailer really does, and I want to say this. And when I got out of the cinema, I kind of thought, actually halfway through the movie, I thought to myself, I felt like most of the trailer was at the beginning of the movie, and it's really well done like that because they don't actually spoil and nothing in the trailer is spoiled for the rest of the movie because the storyline in the rest of the movie actually plays out, and it's really, 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 really well executed, specifically when they pull on the heartstrings of when they go more into the storyline with the character chemistry and how it just eventuates the rest of it just unfolds in front of us, and it's really brilliant like that. I'm going to talk about an extremely random character in this movie for a second, and I thought it was Jason Sudeikis. I thought it was him. Okay, I thought it was him, but it's not. It's totally different, but it looks a lot like Jason Sudeikis. Like, seriously, as I said, no spoilers. There literally is a guy in this movie that gets carjacked. In fact, that it's like in the trailer for a split second. And that guy who gets carjacked, they both look at towards the camera and they're like, I'm getting carjacked. And he mocks him every single time. But it's really, really, really funny because every single time I saw the scene, every time without fail, I was like, really? Jason Sudeikis has a small cameo in this movie? Wow, that's really interesting. But, however, I was wrong. He doesn't. He doesn't at all. It's not him. But it really looked like it. So when you see the trailer, you don't even need to see the movie to tell if it is or not. But when you see the movie, leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know. Did you think that looked like Jason Sudeikis, or was it just me? Just a random fact I thought about while I was watching this movie. There's a scene in this movie, guys, with Dai Fen, who's played by Michelle Yeoh, and also Frank Grillo, who plays Roy. And he's just done something in the bathroom. And then he meets her, and his first verbal interaction with her in this cafe. And it's not funny. It is funny, but it's just not hilarious. But the way she says what she says to him in the interaction made me go, that it was just really clever. Like, it was really, I guess it was funny, but it was really clever. And just the way she said it's funny because it just felt like a really, really, really natural interaction between two people. Like, seriously, like, that's really what that scene felt like. And I thought to myself, as it played out, I thought to myself, that, like, how natural can you get as two actors sitting in front of a whole heap of 50 people with lights and cameras and all that sort of stuff and make that seem so seamless? Like, that is acting at its core element of acting. Like, seriously, that was really unbelievably impressive. So there's this movie with Gran Yin, played by Selena Lowe in this movie, guys. And I have to say, she has this funny line in this movie that she says every time that she does something to the main character. Okay? Now, the thing that bugged me about that is they took that shtick a little too many times. And I was like, yeah, it's not ha-ha funny. Well, I didn't find it ha-ha funny, but it really got old. And I was like, really? You're going to do it again? And that was the only part of the movie that made me just roll my eyes, because it was like, it wasn't funny the first time. It wasn't like laugh out loud funny the first time, but it was like, okay, just the way she did the line. But then it got old. But I have to say, there's a scene in this movie where she says to him, mother effer, or yeah, something like that, or effer, whatever. She swears. That was funny. That was really funny because it took her totally off guard and by surprise. And just the way she did the line was just like, that was a laugh out loud moment because of how he did what he did and the reason why she said it. It was really funny. In saying that, in the same sequence of events in the same part of the movie, when he says a 400-pound unicorn, no spoilers, guys. When you get to that part of the movie, guys, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's funny. Seriously, that was a really, really clever line. I cracked up so bad because it was, but it wasn't, but it was. It was funny. Here's a really, really interesting fact for you guys. Now, those of you who have been movie fans for a long period of time, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. The Wilhelm scream. Now, the Wilhelm scream, literally, I'll leave a YouTube link in the description of this video for the Wilhelm scream. They use the Wilhelm scream in this movie, and I kid you not. Well, I believe it was. I'm not 1,000% sure, but it sounded like the Wilhelm scream. And if it wasn't, then it wasn't, but it sounded like the Wilhelm scream. I kid you not, guys. That scream is used in literally every Star Wars movie. I'm pretty sure most Pixar movies. It is so crazy at how many times they use that. And I picked it up in this movie because it sounded exactly like the Wilhelm scream. So if you don't know what it is, it's literally a scream. Like, it's a scream. But when you hear it for the first time, you'll never unhear it because it's so unbelievably, it's just the most common scream in cinema now, and they use it all the time now, which is really funny because it's phrased now, the Wilhelm scream, which is really funny. So there you go, guys. One of the things that I ask my audience members, and I really do mean this, guys, I genuinely mean this. Does Boss Level have in its core element, in its central DNA, the thing that film needs to be film? For us as audience members to want to go back days, months, years, centuries later, really, and rewatch it. And that's what I like to call, because it has to have it in its DNA. In 3, 2, 1. Guys, rewatchability. Does Boss Level have rewatchability in its DNA? And that, I say to you, whoosh, you know it does. A movie like this is... honestly, they executed it so well. Seriously, guys. And speaking of execution really well, guys, one of the things that I thought about, and this is in terms of CGI in the movie, is in the photos on IMDb to do with this movie, there's a scene in this movie where he has an absolutely mammoth, I don't know what it is, it's a ginormous gun, and it spins and it shoots out 1 billion bullets at one time. In the photos behind the scenes of this movie, you actually see that Frank, the main character, the main guy who plays Frank, he actually is holding the gun up, right? But you actually see the string attached to his gun. But when that same gun is in the helicopter, the string is completely visible. And I thought that was really interesting, because it just comes to show you how simple you can edit out strings, CGI strings, in a movie. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy, because he actually did have strings attached to the gun, really, in the actual scene where he's actually using that gun. And I thought that was fascinatingly amazing. Guys, so before I get to my trivia, this movie really does have it all. I mean, it really does. It's action-packed, which is what you want in a movie like this. This movie pulls at the heartstrings, not intensely, but enough for an audience member to go, yeah, that's really beautiful. It has literally just a drop of comedy, just a drop of humor, nothing bursting out laughing or anything like that. But it really is. It is popcorn fun. Genuinely, guys. This movie is an absolute awesome movie. It's not a masterpiece to any degree at all, but it is a lot of fun. Seriously, considering the fact that it's rated MA15+, guys, you will really enjoy this movie. I honestly, thoroughly think that you will enjoy this movie just as much as I have. Guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear back from you what you guys thought of this movie, if you've seen it, and if not, guys, go and check it out and then let me know what your thoughts are. I'd really appreciate that. So guys, without further ado, It is time in my movie reviews for your favorite part of my movie reviews. Just kidding, but I love giving it to you guys because, and it's trivia time, because in my personal opinion, trivia is like icing on a cake. And who doesn't love cake? Guys, I love cake. Guys, so it's trivia time. And had been trying to make this movie for years. It was originally called Continue, and it was written by Chris Boren and Eddie Bory in 2010. Carnahan rewrote the script and announced in 2012 that he would direct a film for 20th Century Fox. He later filmed screen tests with Frank Grillo. Fox ultimately decided not to move forward with it, reportedly disagreeing with the Carnahan's choice to cast Carnahan as Grillo as the cast, and then later they put it on Twitter. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the movie is dedicated to Frank Grillo's mother, who passed away in 2019. Rest in peace. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Mel Gibson's 7th film with Frank Grillo after Age of Darkness, 2010. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Mel Gibson and John Santantino pose first time since Lethal Weapon 3, 1992, 29 years prior. Next piece of trivia is, guys, and this is my final piece of trivia, guys, and I'll leave you with this. Thanks so much for sticking around. Ken Jeong and Rob Kowalski have been cast together in the 3rd season of The Masked Singer USA 2019. King Jeong stands as one of the 4 main judges, and Rob Kowalski appeared as a contestant. Guys, you guys are amazing. I appreciate your time so much. Have you had yourselves a chance to see Boss Level yet? If you have, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, just as much as I love giving you this movie review on it, guys. You guys are amazing. I appreciate your time so much. Seriously, don't forget who's bringing this movie review for Boss Level. And just a warm welcome to anyone who hasn't seen my movie reviews yet, or you're new to my YouTube channel. I seriously thank you so much for clicking on this link. Don't forget, if you're new and you haven't already, go ahead and click on this subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this review. That way I know that you're appreciating my content just as much as I'm making it for you. You guys are amazing. Guys, once again, this is Superman Steve bringing you the movie review for Boss Level 2021. Appreciating your time, always. Flying out!